to West Africa. But some betrayed their people and stayed in Spain under those conditions. They became known as Moriscos, Mosricos, end quote. And the people in Spain that were related to the Moriscos, end quote, the Spanish word for Moorish, in parentheses, were called Moranos, Morenos, in parentheses. Pardon me, end quote. Now, those who stayed in Spain began to work for the King and Queen of Spain, began to tell them all of our secrets. For example, the Moors, pardon me, the Moors, or Muslims of West Africa, had begun traveling to another land. For a long time, they would sail across the Atlantic and bring many things back. Some of them would stay in this new land and build colonies, at times even mixing in with the natives. One such display is the Algonquin, Algonquin, end quote, Native American tribe of Central North America, northwest of Mexico. The term Al-A-I is actually Arabic. All historians will and do acknowledge that fact. There were many half Moorish and half Native American tribes in Central North America who lived here long before the transatlantic slave trade began in the early 1500s. It is also a known historical fact that the Olmecs, who started the Mesoamerican empire that produced the Toltecs, Incas, Aztecs, and the Uti, Native Americans, also called the first Mexicans by many. This is also a well-known fact. The Spaniards used our information and maps to come to this new land, following behind us. The Spaniards called on Christopher Columbus, in 1492, the same year the Moors were so-called defeated. This is no coincidence or chance happening. This was a betrayal of one of our African empires by those seeking gold, riches/fortune, in parentheses, at the price of their own blood. When Columbus arrived, they decided they would go into West Africa and force the Moors, Barbers, who would not bow to them as Moriscos, to work in this new land. And thus, the Europeans of Spain, France, Italy, and England began going into West Africa and snatching or kidnapping the natives there and forcing them to go to America as their slaves. Pardon me. It is known it is known as an historical fact that around 90% of the African slaves came from West Africa. But as time went on, the Europeans also started taking slaves from other portions of Africa. Because what started, out as a for revenge on the Moors became a purely financial endeavor. Pardon the interjection. Human trafficking. And we go on. And slavery was big business for 400 years. This is why most of the slaves that came to America were Muslims when they got here, because they were West Africans who were all Muslims at that time. Even the movie Roots, in quotes, let you know this fact, as well as the movie Amistad, end quote. Go back and rewatch them. Those were Moors, Berbers of West Africa. And once coming to America, all of the slaves mixed with each other for 400 years. So all men and women whose fathers and mothers came out of the transatlantic slave trade have Moorish blood running through their veins. You are all Moors by descent and descendancy. This is all historical fact, and they know all of this, but they don't tell you all of this for a reason. In order to further break the kidnapped, who knew exactly who they were, their language, their religion, etc., and would keep fighting their forced enslavement, the slaveholders began to murder off all who knew the whole truth and only leave those who did not know it. And once they had successfully removed the national knowledge of who we were from us, they started calling themselves slave masters, end quote, because they were now the masters of what they created, traded, raped, and murdered. The slave, end quote, a fake species of man. And ever since this time, we have been seeking our identity, trying to figure out who we really are, and trying to be everything and anything but what we really are by all the laws of nature. They took African, Berber, and Moor from us and gave us Negro, black, and colored, MBC, pardon the interjection, terms that have no national meaning whatsoever and connects us to nothing but whatever they told us these mean or has meant. Thus, we were now living our lives as their intellectual inventions, and by identifying ourselves by their inventions, we became their intellectual property. We're going to cut it there and continue this on another show. I want to thank you, because I know that you could be anywhere doing and watching anything else, yet you choose and watch with me. I want to thank you. I say I love you, family. I love you. I love all of y'all. This is Supreme L on another episode of Part the Interjection. And thank you for your time and your ear and your vision to help uplift fallen humanity. And as I say, don't believe me, go check it out for yourself. You'll be amazed at what you find on your treasure hunt. I'm signing off. Islam, peace and love forevermore.